Yo, 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 this is E.G. Fisker. E.G. Fisker podcast with my boy Garrett Burnside.
Hey, what's going
A
on?
astounding artist, astounding painter. This guy is interesting, man. I'm telling you right now, you're gonna know from the experience we're having right now. First off, tell us like how'd you became like what did you start off with? Were you first into the music aspect of things, or were you like into the painting? Like what first came about your creative spark?
What started it, I personally believe, was always music. I, going to high school and taking art classes, you get kind of squared into technicality and how you have to paint like Rembrandt or like Degas or any of the old greats like Michelangelo or Caravaggio, so forth, so on. And they force this idealism of technique, and then they'll slap you in the face with Pablo Picasso. And then it just becomes nothing but a masquerade of just Picasso this, Picasso that, Picasso this, Picasso that. And that always turned me off about painting because I never really quite could get into it when I was younger. But it took,
It's like they were forcing a type of way painting should be.
yeah.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, and anytime I would create and submit anything, it would get labeled and judged and just scrutinized because I didn't follow the directive that the art teacher wanted you to do. So I never really grew up drawing or painting. It was mainly just me. I didn't really start recording music until I was 13 either, and that was mainly more rap because I always thought that you had to have a band in order to record rock music, and it took me a while to realize, probably till I was 17, 18, that you could solo record everything. You don't need other people to make rock music. So for a while I was making shoegaze and dream pop, indie, a lot of no wave kind of art punk from the 80s, and then went on to industrial metal and other things.
So industrial metal. Can you elaborate to us what that is?
Industrial metal, kind of like Nine Inch Nails, Marilyn Manson.
Oh, okay.
So
okay.
it's more like rhythm based machinery, kind of like dense music,
Mm-hmm.
something you'd picture like a meat locker would probably sound like.
Yeah. A sweaty meat locker, goddamn. Fucking corpse in the motherfucker. Everything in that bitch. So, I'll tell you, what, I wouldn't say drawback, but what do you get from making that type of music? Because I know for a fact, like, once you start to be into something, it starts to reflect your world. Like for me as an artist, my music comes alive. You know what I mean? So when you're making that music, does it reflect to your outside world much? Or do you don't see a correlation to it?
Well, for my current project for Bird of Clay, making human trafficking, Ministry of Flesh, pornography and goddamn, and putting those in the works. A lot of the lyrics and aspects are mainly written about the circumstances of modern consumeristic society and its debauchery and the degeneration of like the nuclear family and the over-sexualization of everything and the hypocrisy and the ideology of equality in the workforce rather than equity running amok, and just the factor that like constantly getting hit with ads. So I decided to write like the lyrical format more like mantras or like ads, in a form of where you're almost getting hit with an advertisement constantly with a repetitive hypnotic sound in the background, regardless of it being heavy and dense. I wanted to capture the consumeristic society that we currently live in, the constant debauchery that is given to us through TikTok and meaningless, just interchanging conversations that you have with people around you, the lack of actual true connection where everyone's becoming alienated and isolated.
Oh yeah, I feel you on that one. Like, pretty much in your music, you're creating it in a form of commercials. Bold enough commercials where you get the point where it's a catchy commercial where you can go back and reflect upon.
I wouldn't say so much as in catchy. I feel like what makes it catchy would be more of the rhythm, but it's very
Like a hook.
dense and hostile.
I'll say, no matter what, to make an ad, you have to hook the reader.
Yeah.
Or you have to hook the consumer. If you didn't hook them, they won't abide by what you're saying or anything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the more it works, the more hooked the person is into it.
True, yeah.
You know what I mean? But I know what you mean, though. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah. I mean,
But that's what I mean, though. Like, when I see a commercial, that's just somebody's attempt to hook me. Just like how a paragraph has hooks, that's just, I'm trying to persuade you to tap in to this specific aspect.
Yeah, to be honest, yeah. I see what you mean.
You know what I mean?
Because a lot of it has to do with just, like, awakening and almost kind of taking, like, a black pill to the factor that degeneracy is running amok, you know?
Yeah. Like I'm saying, you got a point that you feel that people got to get hooked. And you're going to use your sense of creativity to hook them and the truth that you feel that needs to be brought upon.
Yeah, because, I mean, like, I feel like the lack of, like, actual connection amongst people became to the point of just nothing but a black mirror in your face all day.
Yeah.
And then you have TV just endlessly jamming frequencies down your throat.
Yeah, it's definitely locking you into something.
Yeah, no. It's just programming.
Can you give me that wine, please?
You
Yeah,
know?
it definitely is. It's definitely locking you in a frequency.
Oh, yeah. And everything's a lot denser. I mean, if you look at a lot of more, like, modern pop music or hip-hop, I mean, when has rap music became completely about being a junkie or a drug addict?
That's true.
It reminds me of no different than, like, what rock music eventually became in the 90s. I mean, we could look at, like, Kurt Cobain, for example.
He changed, you say?
Kurt Cobain's dead, remember?
I'm saying, but you talking about his music change, or it was different?
Well, I'm talking about, like, the aspects of, like, the constant reference of drug use and then taking your own life is no different than, like,
The
Lil
same
Peep.
shit, yeah.
It's the same shit.
It's the same shit.
It's dense.
But I'm gonna be honest with you, that was what he was going through.
Yeah, but nowadays it's glorified rather than actually what someone's going through. Because
right.
what was, like, more shock culture, like punk rock or, like, gothic rock kids or, like, metalheads, that was shock culture at one point. If we were to look at the 90s and the 80s, kids running around saying, oh yeah, I'm a Satanist, that wasn't as common as it is nowadays. Now it's come to the point where everyone has dyed hair, they're a Satanist, they have septum piercings, they wear punk clothing, they wear black metal shirts, they wear, you know, band t-shirts of gothic rock bands that they don't even know, just to fit into this edgy culture.
They do it because it's cool. They don't do it for the feeling.
Yeah,
They do it because it's an influence.
Yeah, and people are just getting influenced.
Pulled into it. I'm gonna tell you this. People don't know, but everything is even within what you see. So what you're doing is, when you do shit like that, you're abiding on it on the physical plane and on the eternal plane as well. So you're gonna reap both fruits, and people don't know what they're putting in their ears is really manifesting hell for them. You know what I'm saying? Because your subconscious is low key accepting all what you're listening to. So, and you're abiding by it because you're playing it and it's attuned to you. That starts to become your reality no matter what you're listening to, and you're kind of locked in that frequency. So you kind of have to be aware of what you listen to, because like no matter what, even if you hear some shit about killing somebody with a gun and you don't do that, your subconscious is accepting it because it's in that song. Or vice versa with anything.
Well, yeah, we could look at, like, how Chief Keef, like, I can, like, see, like, the influence of, like, trap music just influencing people and wanting to, like, commit more crime and kill, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, like, look at, like, our high school that we went to, bro. And how many kids, like, literally, embrace that culture from the music that they're listening to, and how many kids died young.
Yeah, from all that.
I even remember being into that shit heavy for one point.
Oh yeah, just because it was an influence.
Yeah.
Not because it wasn't because my heart wanted it. It was because what was cool. Let me be honest with you. Now, I'll tell you something what I did pull to because I liked it, Lil B. Lil B.
Bass God.
Right when I heard this nigga, I knew this nigga was the shit. I knew he was the shit. It was different. With Chief, everybody was on Chief. That's why I was on Chief. But Lil B, he touched my heart. And this song was Ho Suck My Dick. He touched my heart in that song. And that's one of the most wildest songs, but I knew he was real. I knew it was real, but like back on that, like
While everyone was on to that shit, like I kind of slowly strayed more towards the path of listening to Capital Steez and like Joey Badass, Earl Sweatshirt. But after Steez died, I went to like Earl, and then I got really influenced by like ASAP Mob, and then Suicide Boys and Raider Clan.
Oh yeah, Raider Clan. Ain't Young Simi in there?
Yeah.
I used to listen to Young Simi back in the day. Basement music. Them some of the most greatest back in high school, bro, like 2013, 14.
Yeah, bro.
Basement music, you feel me?
Yeah, like literally.
That's
classics.
my nigga.
And I mean, like, we wouldn't have like the triplet flow getting like revived if it wasn't for that culture. And then the Migos, which is industrial, like.
Don't forget,
franchise.
I'm gonna be real. They got their own flow. They not industrial. They got their own flow, but when all that money in your face, you got people making your music. But back in the day, bro, they were original. They original as fuck, but all that money, you got motherfuckers doing shit.
I mean, let's be real. I mean, the triplet flow originated out of Memphis, man. Like 3-6 Mafia, Gangsta Pat, you know.
Yeah.
You go all down that whole list.
I'd say they're unique. Like, Migos are unique. I would say stole nothing, but they just three people that went together and they build, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, they took something from the past and made it more modern and relevant, which is good. We need stuff like that. It's just, I feel like a lot of people, like, don't really dive into investigating the factor that, like, there's nothing new under the sun. You know?
I feel you what you saying. You gotta pull it. You gotta, I know what you mean. Regurgitate it.
Everything's already been done.
Yeah.
You know?
Some of it ain't them. That's when you come in. That's when you can pull within new shit, but you gotta pull it within. You can't take everything outside of yourself because it's like you said, it's already been manifested. But within this, new aspects, new creation, new thought form.
Well, yeah, you could
invention.
look at like H.P. Lovecraft, for example.
Never heard of them.
He's the one guy who wrote like Necronomicon, and made like a bunch of like cosmic horror books, but like. Or like sci-fi writers. You can look at sci-fi writers, how they'll take things from out and then take what they feel from within. And I've noticed a common theme within that community. It's always some form of spirituality or this divine force that's almost unconsciously helping them.
I feel you. Yeah. That's helping them push through the book.
Yeah, and create like imageries that like man can't even find fathomable.
A vessel. You're a vessel to that aspect where you have to pull from. That's the truth. That's the truth for anything. That's like when it comes to music.
Oh yeah.
I know for a fact, like, to be creative, to be unique, you have to pull from that aspect of uniqueness from another realm. If you pull what's outside of yourself, you're gonna sound like everybody else. But if you pull within yourself, you're gonna have a new twist to the point where you can add on new revenue because it's a new unique thing rather than something outside the box.
Well, yeah.
Inside the box.
That's why there's like multiple deities, multiple realities, multiple realms, multiple universes. Depends on where you want to go and pull.
Yeah, but where you want to pull from. But you can pull from that's the best way.
Yeah.
Rather than going somewhere else with their powers, that mean, you know what I mean? But pulling it from you and then... Because you're a universe yourself. It's good to pull from your energy.
Well, yeah, we all have the God particle.
Yeah, and we got our own universe in a sense. Just like how somebody inhabited this universe, a God did, believe it or not. There's a nigga that did this. Just like there's another God that did that universe. You just got to pay respect to everybody here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We got that same ability because it's all awareness. He had the awareness and the discipline to do this. We have the same choice to do it, and we have the wonderful experience to be here and see how he did it and see what we can pull from our spots and pull what it would look like here in a sense. Like every reality is different. You know what I'm saying? But we can definitely make your own reality. But that takes awareness, and that kind of changes your spiritual purpose, because you might just wanted to slip through celestial worlds and chill with new people, but to be able to create your own reality would take a lot of energy and a lot of thought form and feeling to be able to craft your Sims in a sense.
You would need to climb up the tree of life and go into ether, regardless if you go through the magician side or the fool side. You'd have to climb up there in order to do that.
Oh yeah.
But even then, I mean, if you're creating your own reality, you're no different than the god Apollo. And I guarantee Apollo or Pan or Venus, Babylon, Beelzebub, any of these other deities, they're more physical, they're denser. They have their own realms, but are they connected with the true God? I'm not talking about Jehovah or Yahweh. I'm talking about the true God, because if there's one, there's many. You want to ascend up to the true God and create with Him, not create within your own vision, because that's what's going to keep you in the lower planes. You need to ascend completely. You have to go all the way to God. And I'm not talking about like being like Christ. Christ is a form of achieving Christ consciousness. Christ is not Christ. Jesus is just an alchemist who reached divinity, which is no different than Solomon.
Okay.
You know, we could look at like Aleister Crowley. Aleister Crowley wanted to do something just like that. He created Thelma, but I guarantee he didn't reach Christ consciousness. He chose to do what Babylon ushered him to do, and various other deities that helped guide him.
Mm-hmm.
You take your knowledge from these deities and you apply them, but you don't let them become you.
That's true. That's the truth. Because you start to possess them after that point.
Yeah. I mean, influence is no different than influenza.
True that. See, I feel you, but like when you talk about going to God, you mean just rather than not keep building up in a sense before you create in this dense place. The lighter you get, the higher you get to your God.
Well, there's nothing wrong with creating in this place, but what I mean by don't get stuck
Caught up
in materialistic illusions.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, we could look at like Nietzsche, for example. We could look at Apollonian and Dionysian. The Apollonian is stuck in illusion. He's stuck in the grandeur of all and creation. Or you could be the Dionysian, who is stuck in the materialistic plane, being a drunk, a partier, and stuck with earthly lust. You don't want either one of those. You don't need either one of those. Now, it's okay to have fun in the world, in the realm that you have in, but don't let it be you. Find what you have within. You open your heart chakra. That's what you need to do first before climbing up the golden ladder. Gotta get this sucker open.
Yeah, the heart chakra is key.
Yeah. It is. You know? Can't let what's in the air be all that what you breathe, you know?
Yeah, you gotta go within.
Yeah.
That's the truth. And that's what I'm learning as an individual growing, is the withinness is the key. Because the more you're within, the more you're without yields to you. It's like giving back in a sense. Can you give me the energy drink, please?
Oh yeah, bro.
Appreciate it. But yeah, the more within you are, the more your without yields to you. Like, you gotta go within. Like, we know what's wild is like how the spirit worlds are worlds, but it's just different. Like, it's different. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, all planes of reality are different.
Yeah, but they integrate. That's the thing. You know what I mean? Like, they cross together for some reason. Everything can.
Well, yeah, because it's like, think of it like this. You know, have you seen the meme of like back rooms?
Nope.
All right, there's like a long thing that's been going on for a good minute. I think.
Those, bro?
Oh yeah. That's adapted through like creepypasta and 4chan sort of on the paranormal board, where a back room is where like you glitch out of reality, and it's desolate and there's nothing there, but you're still in this plane, but you glitched out. In a sense, I believe that like there are probably portals in certain locations where if you resonate in certain frequencies, like you can glitch out of this reality.
Oh yeah, true. But how you get, the more you're able to perceive a glitch, or be able to be perceived through just something that can't be seen by somebody else, but you have that energy to be able to slip through. Then there's something different. And the thing is,
It's like UFOs. Like, wouldn't you think that some UFOs... Have you ever seen, like, a plane just flying somewhere where it just doesn't look like it belongs?
Yeah, bro, I've seen that a lot of times. Like, I see something, and it's not anything that you can... it's not a plane. It goes in the sky, then it just disappears out of the blue, bro.
Yeah, there's hella UFOs running amongst lately.
Yeah.
You know?
They be on business, though.
We got the reptiles and the Zetas out here.
See, the thing is, I don't be seeing no reptile.
What do you mean? They're all in our government almost.
Yeah, I don't be paying attention to that.
Doesn't sound like David Icke here.
But yeah, I love David Icke. David Icke we got some David Icke on the channel, man. David Icke is GOAT. David Icke is one of the GOATs. David Icke is a GOAT. Cannot go wrong with David Icke, man. They trying to block him, though. They took his YouTube down, man. It's all good, though. It's just like peace.
Yeah. Well, that's how it is with censorship. They've been censoring music and art and all this other stuff.
That's why you gotta make your own platform. Because when you make your own platform, you can't do nothing.
It's hard to do that with globalization currently happening.
It's self-confidence, though. That's all it is.
True.
Self-confidence. If you have confidence, you're gonna push. You're gonna push whatever. Because you just gotta be confident in yourself. If you're not gonna go nowhere. But if you're confident, you don't give a fuck. That's the key in life. You can't give a fuck. Careless. You gotta be careless but balanced. Because when you're careless, you don't give a fuck what's around you, and you just create within. And that's the key, is to pull your energy within yourself and externalize it, or fill in, and then you have to do certain things. You maybe have a promise. Some people have a promise with God. You know what I mean? To the point where they got a mission, nigga. You know? They gotta do certain shit. And once you do that certain shit, you yield to your power.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
I completely agree with that. Yeah.
And there's a path you take, and it's super light. You know it's light, because when you get thrown to something, you have to do it. It's calling.
Oh yeah.
And it comes through prayer and guidance, and it comes every time you yield to it. It comes. It doesn't never not answer. I noticed that. And if you have the purpose, it'll show up every moment you yield to it. And you have to call to action. If you don't call to action and pass it off, that's another lesson to learn. Okay, next time I have to do it, because you have to fulfill your purpose, your promise, so you can ascend.
Yeah, otherwise you lose the essence of light and spirit within yourself, and you become denser.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, think about, like, all the serial killers or, like, cartel people that are murdering and torturing people. Imagine what they're going to evolve to after this life.
Probably something denser than this.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, especially if
Meat locker.
yeah, some people don't even get a chance to reincarnate.
Well, that's the thing. You don't want to reincarnate.
Yeah,
That's
but,
what the demi-merge wants you to do, so they can feast on your energy constantly
oh yeah,
and keep you trapped.
yeah, but
You're supposed to incarnate.
Yeah, that's the truth. But some people understood what they did, and they would want to come back and fix something.
Well, yeah, but that's the thing. When you reincarnate, you forget everything, and then you have to fight to get everything back.
That's true. Through just. But you can call your higher self to give you the truth.
Yeah, but now imagine how many lost souls that there are out there today. That's why you want to incarnate, because when you incarnate, you still have your memory.
True that. You bring it all back. It's
Yep.
your higher self.
Yep.
I feel like that's the key, though. Like, I feel like we probably have things from our higher self that we probably been here before that could help us out.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you really think about it, like, it's in synchronicity and just subliminal imagery, you know? Like, one thing that I've noticed that's very prominent in my life are ravens and crows, you know? And they would always give me a warning before something. Same thing with red-tailed hawks. I would always find their feathers intact, which I got one right up there. But that's a constant symbolism, and that could also be because of the factor that sometimes I go to the god Apollo for help with creating with art.
Interesting. I got something info. So oh man, I forgot what I was gonna say. But in aspects of keep going. I just lost it, but it's gonna come back.
It's that Master OG Kush you just smoked.
Yeah, it could be. It could be. But man, put on aspects of God. Okay, God. You saying that there's different guys that you call to.
Yeah, I like Apollo is one, but I mean they don't they are created by the true God, but they don't represent the true God because they walked away from the true God and became self-serving. When you become self-serving, that's where you lose that umbilical cord that you have attached with the true God. If we were to look at Pan is an example of a demigod that lost that touch, because Pan represents all. He fucks everything. Now, that's something that the true God would do. Now, this is where a lot of people go, well, they would put human aspects into it. But that's a thing that God created. Wouldn't that reflect God? Yeah, in a sense, it is a reflection of God, but God's true notion is purity. You know, think about it like this. We have multiple colors, okay? We got red, we got blue, we got green, we got yellow. Fucking everything might make you red and put you in a really shitty, dense world, okay? Being of purity and not being lustful of the flesh and fucking everything that walks would make you more yellow. You know what I'm saying? More pure. Because, let's face it, Pan represents, like I said, all. And if he's all, that means that he'll fuck animals, trees, you know, insects, male, female. That's not really pure.
Mm-hmm. So that's what a
lustful.
pansexual means?
Yeah, pansexual is all sexual.
Huh. Interesting.
You know, I don't. Ugh.
That's interesting.
I try to keep sex as pure as possible. I've had like, now I already have like a son. I'm 23. I got an 8-year-old boy. had
That's cool.
a lot of ass, and I'm at the point in my life where I'd just rather find love. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's pretty much like settled down in a sense to a truth.
Yeah, I'm like,
I
I'm trying to find my, like, you know, on some goofy shit like my jelly. You know, I'm the peanut butter. I'm trying to find my jelly. You know,
I feel you.
someone that can spiritually grow with me.
Yeah, bro. I understand what you're saying.
Because it just seems like kids our age, dude, are just wasting their vitality on the game, watching porn, jerking off. You know?
Yeah, I understand. You gotta transmute that type of energy to something that can keep creating you and keeping your vitality within.
Yeah, like,
Keeping yourself alkaline, balanced.
yeah, like you want to have like you want to find something you truly love, and have like a form of obsessive mania over it.
That's positive. That can keep it going.
Yeah, like, dude, like, for example, like how I picked up painting. It's almost been 3 years. And
Speaking of painting, let's get those going.
alright, yeah.
We got some paintings we're going to show you guys of Gary. I'm telling you, bro, he got a lot of interesting paintings. Like, you're going to see all of them. You're going to see all of them. Not all of them, but some of the ones he has.
Which one do you want me to start
That
with?
one,
That one?
Two-Face.
Two-Face? Alright.
No, that.
That?
Yeah.
Alright.
And these are for sale, okay? These are for, some of them are. I don't know all of them.
No, all of them are.
Okay.
Yeah.
All of them. Get it. Check that out. And tell us about this one.
It's a representation between
Let me see it. I want somebody to just pretty much piece this piece together. Like, look at this. Now, what's up with it?
Now, personally, it is a representation between choice and options that this woman has while she's currently in, I would say, a waiting room.
Okay, like, what's up with her body? What's in there? Is that like pears?
Oh, a lot of negative energy. Yeah, she's got some pear-shaped breasts.
It looked like it was Paris in there, you know? I see Paris, like, I don't know why, like that long tower thing in Paris.
It's the Kabbalah. I decided to paint the Kabbalah, the Tree of Life, but leading up to her tattoo that she had in her chest, which was a bird sprouting flowers.
Interesting.
And I obviously had the Masonic tile at the bottom. I got the orange for the roof, representing 33 in gematria, with the contrasting of a cold steel wall with an ether of purple.
Interesting painting. 2018.
This sucker's 2 years old.
Yeah, this,
Yep.
that's
Oil on raw linen.
No, well, what's this one?
A shift.
A shift.
Yeah. Shifting expressions of a person. It's one of my exes. Really abusive relationship. I painted this in December 2 years ago. Yeah. I usually
Definitely feel it.
like when I like when people analyze the painting more than me giving the explanation. Some of them I just can't explain.
Yeah, I definitely feel that. Now, that one's interesting right there.
It's called Rabbit
Rabbit.
or Rabbits.
Rabbits. Okay. What's that one? That one's interesting.
It's a matchstick being lit on fire in a dark room. I painted this exactly a year ago. Oil on canvas.
Now, what's the meaning with this one?
The influence from watching David Lynch's short film Rabbits. Every time something really demonic and dark would happen, a matchstick would be lit. And something pertaining towards the symbolism of what I saw from that movie just really grasped me to where I painted matches for a while, but that's the only surviving painting of the matches that I made, except for one other one. The other ones I sold or I destroyed.
Interesting.
This is a self-portrait in hell. Painted this last year. Painted this a year ago. Oil on canvas.
What's that one about?
Same girl from the first one. Just another portrait of her. Just in a room. Nude. Crying. Because she made the wrong choice. She was, cheating on her girlfriend with me and got caught. And funny thing is, buddy of mine passed this New Year's, and she knew him and did the same thing, and then got caught from who she was talking to. So I'm not friends with her anymore. Talk about a modern succubus.
That's interesting. Now, what's that about?
It's untitled. Makes me think of death. What does it make you feel?
I feel that he's in a rut. Just a rut around him. Just a hazy mess. Like, whoa, this guy got himself into some, like a twister of
Pain.
yeah, like, woo. Now, what's that about?
It's called smoking and drinking. It's a self-portrait.
I'm gonna be honest with you. This looks like something Picasso made.
Yeah, for a while I got influenced by him, as much as I talk shit about him.
This, I can tell this is something like he'd made, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I was really influenced by him for a little while. A lot of those paintings I painted over or destroyed. Some of them I kept.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. That one's right. That's one right there, bro.
Oh yeah.
What's
Plus,
that?
I like experimenting with techniques and different styles of painting. So sometimes I look at older painters, and sometimes I'll have them be somewhat of an influence, and I feel like sometimes I slightly invoke them, and they'll leave a bit of their presence in my art.
Yeah, pretty much being a channel.
Mm-hmm.
What's that one called?
That
Yeah.
Smoking and drinking.
Oh yeah, right. Smoking and
Yeah.
drinking. Yeah.
Big old 4D mess.
Where's she at?
Huh?
I said, where's she at?
Oh, that's me.
Oh.
That's a self-portrait when I had red hair.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I
I
thought that
painted-
was like a ginger woman or something.
Yeah, no, I painted this on my birthday. That's when I had red hair for a little while. Remember?
Oh yeah. Where are you at, bro?
I don't know.
That's somewhere, bro.
Yeah, no, it's oil and muslin. So,
Yeah, that's interesting. Like, I feel like that's somewhere, bro. Like, that's some place. Definitely got some color to it. That place got some color to it. Like, that's a different type of place to be, you know?
yeah, it makes me think of the ether, kinda.
Yeah.
Or Doth.
What's Doth?
Doth is the six in the Kabbalah, the abyss.
Getting deeper then.
Yeah. Yeah, around that time period it was not the greatest, really, to be honest.
That's true, though. You start down and you go up, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
You start down and you keep going up. Is that like a heart? It look like
Dead Swan.
dead swan. Oh.
Really thickly painted. You can touch it if you want.
Definitely got a breeze to it, bro.
This is Lamb. Like Lam.
See, this is about. Interesting. Now, what's the meaning?
I invoked this deity that Crawley met, and then I had my encounter with him, and then I painted him. I don't really remember that night. I was really drunk, and I smoked a lot of hash doing the ritual, but it was interesting, to say the least.
Sounds interesting.
So, this is called Stomp Out.
Those look like some higher ups right there.
Where at?
Is that a person or a thing?
No, it's a bottle, beer
Oh,
bottle. Then you got a spoon, syringe, matchstick, cigarette, got hands reaching up, and then there's a foot stomping out the reaching desire of addiction.
Yeah, let me see what this one's about. Dang, man, that's interesting. That means stop smoking cigs, fellas. I'm done smoking after that pain.
Harvesting.
The symbol of people taking organs and eating them? Or like,
Yeah, in a way, and like man being a slave, you know, as above, so below, kind of. You know, the constant harvesting of flesh and children, and just how old money is actually human trafficking, you know?
And then time, the time clock, the mouth laughing, the V, Christ's V, you know. And then I have for the blow being a middle finger for fuck you. Then the all-seeing eye and the feet on the conveyor belt just getting pumped away. And just put the time clock kind of to mock Kronos, the god of time. And the last one that we're going to be showing is more of a mock painting. I took a while from actual painting and I just wanted to paint something out of mockery.
Called Glory Hole.
Glory hole.
Interesting painting. But what's that about?
Well, it's just the mocking of sexual desire. I mean, if you think about it, a glory hole is... Here, I'll put more personal in there, okay? A while before I am slowly, and am in the process of completely quitting pornography and watching porn, I was watching a lot of glory hole pornography, and it started making me think about, like, you know, these people are sticking their dicks in a hole to get a blowjob and, like, fuck something, but they can't see it. You know, that wall is a form of security. So, it's just a mock ploy on the factor of, like, insecurity, and there's just a lot of things, like the degeneracy within that act. So I painted a pig man sticking his dick in a glory hole, called it Glory Hole 1 cent, you know, because I'm putting my 1 cent on how I feel about it, you know, not my 2 cents, you know. 2 cents would be like, you know, just consciously knowing. I'm putting my 1 cent, my advice, what I see, what I feel, you know.
Yeah.
That's what I mean by 1 cent. So the cock has nails in it, and there's like this grimace, deformed man eating the cock and sucking it while there's nails in it, and then there's a hammer. The brutality mentally to put yourself in such sexual debauchery. And then I put the Masonic tile, because I don't really need to explain why I put the Masonic tile, but I put the Masonic tile in a pyramid-shaped form in the room for kind of a subliminal reasoning. So, just to fit the atmosphere.
Dang, that's interesting. There's a reason why those got picked, I'm telling you.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised that you picked a lot of old paintings rather than my newer paintings. I think it's probably more of the sense of, like, I don't know. I'm not sure.
But they're interesting. I'm just looking up these numbers, man. I'm caught up. I'm caught up. I'll be even my numbers. But yeah, dang. I'm telling you, all those paintings got different feelings and meanings to them. You're not just some type of, hey, there you go, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They got a whole different type of jazz to it, bro. Different type of spin, man. What, do you see that within yourself?
What you mean?
Do you see that image clear? Or, like, you know what I mean? You see it before you express it, right? In a sense.
No, it just kind of happens. I'm usually head empty. I don't think. I don't really rarely ever hear my consciousness. Sometimes some paintings I see. Some. That's very rare. Majority of the time, no. It just comes naturally. You know?
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Some of them I do based off of photography too.
up in this. But tell us more about your music, on your hip hop.
Oh, when I
Like,
used to,
what was your influence in that?
when I used to rap,
Yeah.
MF Doom, LP, Lil Ugly Mane,
Oh, the ugly man.
Lil Ugly Mane, Earl Sweatshirt, Slug, Atmosphere, Idea, Aesop Rock. A little bit of Aesop Rocky, but I can never rap like that.
Yeah,
Joey
I feel you.
Badass, Capital Steez. A lot of underground SoundCloud rappers that no one knows. But I'm not going to go down that list. But, yeah, no, and then, I don't know, like, I had a little spur at the beginning of this year doing it again. When my friend passed, and it was more influenced by Mavi and Mike because of how spiritual, like, Mavi and Mike were, and I'd get drunk and record and just really free flowing and really fun. I did a lot of gimmicky things that I didn't think that I'd ever do, and I enjoyed it, you know. It was just something to free myself at the time, you know.
Yeah, I feel you. Get your mind off things in a sense.
Yeah,
Yeah, I feel you, bro.
yeah, that's what it was mainly about. Like, you know, the sun is setting, the moon is rising, and I'm drunk every day again. Those tapes were really freeing, you know. I really enjoyed it.
Tapes?
Yeah,
What tapes?
the albums, the tapes.
Or like your music?
Yeah.
Like, on aspects of, like, taking it on another level, like, were you doing any shows?
Sadly, no, because of Corona, but, like, back in 2016, 2017, I did a few rap shows.
Oh, that's what's up. Where at?
Just around here, just house parties. You know, I did one at the Brass Rail. Like,
that's
that
what's
was
up.
way forever ago.
How was that one?
Pretty good. I got really wasted. I got, like, stupid wasted. I, like, drank, I think, 4 40 ounces that night.
Before the act?
Well, I drank 2 before the act, and I drank 1 during the act. And I ended up, like, I had a 30-minute set, so, like, I mainly made lo-fi music around that time period. So, like, each song ranged from, like, 1 minute to 2 minute. So I did roughly, I think, 17 or 16 or 18 songs. I forgot, like, 6 songs, so I ended up having a freestyle.
Damn.
It's just too much to remember, so I was like, fuck
Yeah.
it.
Probably because you're going in there kind of drunk, too.
Yeah, slightly, but I mean, I've never been a fan of rapping over a backing track.
Like, with the vocals already on there?
Yeah, no, that just,
I feel you, but
That's
if that's all what you
half-ass.
got, if that's all what you got, I feel you though. Sometimes you gotta keep the beat
yeah.
in a sense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel like a performance for that kind of music is a lot better when, like, you're actually performing and not, like, half-assing. I feel like rapping over a backing track with your vocals on it already is half-ass as fuck. Like, you're not even performing. It's like lip-singing at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you lip-singing your music? Why would anyone pay to go see that?
True that, but if you spitting it, they're just doing it for the money in that aspect. If you don't really do it to do it, you're not doing it for the right reason.
Yeah, no, I did it just to make myself feel better and to create something. I don't really care if someone enjoys it or not, you know?
True that.
It's the release, the act of being, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I think with my current relationship that I have, if it wasn't for her, I probably wouldn't have gone back to my Bird of Clay project or started making black metal music. So I'm glad that I'm going to be taking a break from that for a little while because God, there's so much shit that I've done with it already. It's just a matter of just releasing all the stuff that I have and finishing the artwork on some things.
Mm-hmm. Tell me how you do that. Like, you be working on multiple paintings at once. That's so interesting. Like, how do you be able to pop, 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 pop?
Oh, the fact that I'm working on 5 different ones right now.
Yeah, like, when do they get done?
I don't know. They just get done when they
Get done.
get done. Yeah, like
I really love the second one that I have like up right now. The first one I like, but I think the reason why I dislike it is because it has like a tension to it, while the second one is more, it flows into itself,
Yeah, I know what you mean.
you know?
Yeah. It's definitely some type of, some weight on the other one.
Yeah, and I think for a little while I'm just gonna paint and just color, like I am right now. You know, just reds and purples and stuff like that, warm colors, and have them flow into each other and constrict each other. So I might just do, like, with the rest of the canvas I have, just all red paintings. For a while I just did all white paintings like that. I have a few, like, completely all white paintings. They're just different whites.
That one right there is something, bro.
Which one?
That one.
The black one?
Well, that one in front. That's something.
or the one with the wood.
No, that one right there, bro.
Oh, with the rope?
Yeah. Like, you can, that you put that at a gallery, you know.
Yeah, like for a while I was mixing like sculpture and just found material with like just paintings, man. I got this one painting that has a dead cicada on it.
What's a cicada?
The insect.
Oh. Interesting. You took his body.
Yeah, and then the white one right there with the 2 stones, and then I got the gravel glued to it. I used 3 different whites making that background.
Nice.
It's like the one with the piece of wood right there. Those blues and those reds on the sides look like their color. That's actually white paint. Isn't that intense?
Yeah.
You did ask me about it earlier. It has to do with politics mainly, in my opinion. Both sides are of the same coin.
Yeah, I feel you. Just realized somebody just called me. I think that was. Oh yeah. That was Kathy.
Oh yeah, let's
She
go
ended up
get that
calling me.
reading.
Yeah, she ended up calling me. Yeah, you call? Nah. Nah, but were you still open for that or no? Okay, sounds good. All right, for sure. Bye. Yeah, you're welcome. Bye. Tomorrow. That was interesting. I should have answered it at that one time.
Wait, what is it?
It's tomorrow. I think she's about to go to sleep. It seems like it's
What?
kind of late. But yeah, but I'm gonna be honest. I should have got my cards, bro. I got some tarot cards. They're crazy. They're crazy accurate. But I like when people perceive when they don't have any.
Yeah.
I like when people be like, "How do you know that?" You know. That's the best way, and that's what they do. That's a whole nother story. But yeah, like I feel like these paintings have a lot of truth to them. Is there a restroom in there?
Yeah.
Can I use your restroom?
Yeah, it's just right back there.
Yeah, these paintings got a lot of truth. Drop the mic. I just noticed my eye. Oh, you see that?
Yeah.
I wonder what that could be.
Huh. That's weird. Yeah, you didn't have that earlier until you came here.
Nah. It ain't been like that. I just realized it, meaning like for me, that's like been there. Like no cap. It ain't just. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, I'm sure like.
Nah, fool.
Yeah.
Nah, ain't nothing wrong with this crib, bro. Ain't shit wrong with this crib, but yo, where you pour to yourself. I'm telling you, bro.
Alright, we'll see.
That ain't shit. That ain't shit, man. Ain't nothing wrong with this crib, but your imagination. And when you pour to yourself, man.
I'm gonna heat me up some coffee, bro.
Alright, man.
I'm gonna wake up.
Yeah. We'll check that out. I gotta go hop on the stock game. You know, but hey man, like, hey, this has been an interesting interview. I honestly, smoking that indica got me too spaced out. But the sativa keeps me focused and energized. But the indica keeps you so spaced out. And kind of put you in a loop, you know? Puts me in a loop. I would say in all aspects, there's a key to everything right now is to go within. That's the key in life, is to go within. This is just not even on some hip hop slice shit. No, nigga. You gotta go within to find find yourself. Like that's the only way to get truth. Because everything outside of yourself only is gonna point the way within. The true source is gonna tell you to go within. So consider me a symbol. Go within. Tap within. You may have your mind on, but observe it and see it and go back within. Center back to the mind. Don't react to it. Stay balanced and stay centered and stay disciplined and have the intention to be clear. But let's get on the aspects of like, just say somebody finding with themselves on a spiritual level. Where could they go? Like, not where could they go, but like, what's the key to bringing your higher self to this plane? In your term. In your term, yes sir, yes sir.
I mean, think of it like how, you know, Gnosis works, you know, like, and not to go in like a psychonaut terminology, because I don't really agree with psychonaut cultism or practice. I think a lot of it's bullshit, but it's just, do. You be. I am who I am. I am thankful that I have what monks meditate and practice to acquire their whole life is the point of complete silence in my head. I have a majority of complete silence for your head. You want to be. Being is how you bring yourself here, because you are at peak performance. Peak performance is also a terminology coined in psychology where you're just flowing. You have to be. When you find yourself, you learn how to be. When you find doubt, that's a negative thought form. That's a 2D parasite. You know, when you hear that voice in the back of your head, you know, because your consciousness, when you talk in your head, it's always in the front. But if you hear it from the back, that's not your thoughts. That's something trying to penetrate your energy and your thoughts to manipulate and influence you.
Oh, that's interesting.
So
if it's in the back, that's like somebody sending it to you.
Yep, that's someone sending it to you.
Yeah, right.
You know, two-dimensional parasites, shadow people, succubuses, incubuses, regardless of whatever you want to label it. If it's coming from the back, that's not you. Coming from the front, that's you. I don't need to hear this sucker, because this sucker is united.
Right.
Now, do I have things that want to interfere with it? Yeah, because when you strive more towards the light, that's where things tend to want to stick their claws in you, you know?
Yeah, I feel you on that one. I want to grip hold and go.
Yeah.
On a journey. With you, in a sense.
Yeah, no.
But the more protection you got, the more they can't even interfere. Depending on how protected you are, I guess.
Yeah, and remember, love is law. I mean, if you really think about it, we're so pertained to the ideology of love, hate, love, hate, love, hate. You know, hate is a form of love. When you hate something, you love it because you care about it.
That's true.
Whenever you see someone who's self-destructing and, like, you care about them and you throw a tangent, a fit, you're like, I fucking hate them. Why are they doing this? Blah, 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 blah. No, it's just because you love them and you want them to change their ways. But at the end of the day, it's coming to the acceptance of who they are. You have to accept yourself. You know, people who usually strive for the ideology of equality and, like, progressive thinking usually are very self-centered, and almost fascist-like individuals ready to shut down anyone who does not follow their terminology and ideology. And that becomes very dogmatic. And when things become dogmatic, that's very hazardous. Dogmatism is not something that you want.
I feel you. It kind of lock you in.
It locks you in. Because if you are actually a progressive individual and you love everyone and think everyone should be equal, then you wouldn't pertain to very self-centered methods in spreading your message. It's no different than Bible thumpers, in my opinion. I feel like a lot of the left wing are no different than Christian Bible thumpers. When you become a zealot or a fanatic, and you can't have a conversation with an individual on a plane of understanding and caring, and it has to do with regardless of I'm right or you're right. If it becomes to that point, then no, you haven't evolved. You have to let go completely. Letting go of the flesh, letting go of earthly desires of being right.
Yeah, that's how you really have it when you let go.
Yeah, I know. And I don't know, for a while I thought to myself, and I kind of think to myself sometimes, what if DNA has a lot to do with spirituality, You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because think about it,
That's the truth.
an Armenian is going to resonate different than someone who's, Ukrainian. Or someone who's Germanic, or like an Anglo-Saxon. Or like how, you have Hispanics, like Mexicanos and stuff. They got Hispania and Portuguese from the invasion, but they still have their Aztec and Mayan DNA in them. So what does that resonate? Or like the Han's Chinese, from the constant raiding that they've gone through from dynasty to dynasty, from the Mongolian Empire to Alexander the Great, from the Romans to this to that, yada yada, so forth, so on, and the constant interbreeding. What is their DNA like spiritually then? Because I believe that if we were to look at the alchemic symbol of like the two snakes climbing up the rod, that would be the conjoining of DNA and RNA. And at the top of the alchemic rod of EMTs, you know what I'm talking about, that hospitals use,
Yeah.
is the pineal gland. The pine cone's the pineal gland, the third eye.
Yeah, symbol.
Yeah, look at the Twin Towers. They blew up the Twin Towers. What is that representing? The combination of DNA and RNA together. Alright, and what did they make? They made a giant hole for the memorial. Alright, I believe that is reference to the sixth seal that CERN's trying to make, which is transhumanism. They want to make what is flesh mechanic, and that's why we have so much advancement in AI and all this other shit. Like in Canada, they have robo-dogs running amongst to be trained. What do you think the police are gonna, when they get privatized after being abolished by multi-million-dollar, billion-dollar industries to police people, because everyone thinks that they're going to get replaced with social workers because of their communistic desire of this socialistic utopia that the left desires. They're actually going to get no different than the drug cartel police in Mexico, but with the ramming amplification of robo-cops. Canine dogs are going to be replaced with robo-dogs. Cops are going to have transhumanism and mechanical qualities to make them super soldiers, and same thing with military. And I guarantee in the next 10 to 20 to 30 years that will be a constant factor. I mean, we could look at like movies like Blade Runner promoting that and prompting that.
Yeah, I feel you. Yeah, that's different. I'll tell you that much. You feel that? You feel that's a rush? That's coming, huh?
Yeah, it's coming. Especially with, have you read about the coronavirus vaccine having really negative effects to people yet?
Nah.
Yeah, it's been getting a lot of people sick.
Oh, the corona?
No, the vaccine.
Oh, I mean, I bet. It's like taking the flu shot.
Yeah, but not normal getting sick like that. Also, they're putting tattoo markers in it.
Tattoo?
Yeah, a tattoo marker chip to show that you've been vaccinated.
People already taking it?
Yep.
People are interesting.
And then also, look at the factor that we're having a coin shortage currently. What do you think that's going to lead to?
That's just somebody just saying that. Ain't that
No, we're going to go to a cashless society, bro.
I mean, it's all what you want to pull to you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree, but
that's all I really could say when people like. I mean, what do you want to pull to yourself? You know.
Well, that's the thing. Like,
I gotta pull. You gotta pull your truth. I really can't say this is gonna happen because I can't speak for my whole world. I can speak for a personal world, but I know you mean.
Yeah,
as
no.
you perceive your external world, this is what you're seeing.
No, I'm just pointing out the factor of like things that are happening in our external environment that I have no control of, that higher ups and people that are governing bodies have control of, that are promoting and prompting such of activities and ideologies to grow rampant and become amongst our society. You know what I'm saying? You feel me?
Yeah, I feel you.
You know, all that I can do is create my environment and my reality through positivity, but also I cannot stop what higher up predecessors or yada 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 so forth, like governing bodies, can do. You know?
Yeah.
I'm gonna get another cup of coffee.
Alright.
I already drank that sucker.
For sure. Coffee gets you energized.
Oh yeah, I love coffee, dude.
I had to take care of some of that. But yeah, I mean, like I said, man, you're gonna pull it to you what you're gonna pull it to you. It is what it is. You know? You make your heaven. You make your heaven. You make it nirvana. You know? That's the truth. Oh, man. You know what's interesting? Like how symbols speak to you. Like no matter where you at, there's gonna be a symbol that can speak to you, that'll tell you some stuff you have to know, and it'll be there for you to interpret. No matter where you at. No matter where you at, bro, you can get symbols of your guides around you or your higher self talking to you, or something that can guide you to the direction where you gotta go. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I completely agree.
Like no matter where you at, it's gonna show you the way. But you have to be receptive to the message so you can take the next step in regards of going to that light.
Yeah, no, it's like a good old saying, through darkness comes light.
To that.
You know, the lotus flower grows through shit. You gotta go through shit. We live in,
Oh, lotus flower does?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Aren't those rare?
To be honest, that I don't know of.
I know for Major League it is.
I know that there's this one really cool orchid.
Magic the Gathering, I mean.
Magic the Gathering. I know that there's this really cool orchid that like grows every 100 years, but it smells like, from what I read, it smells like decaying flesh, which I find interesting. But like, it's really beautiful, but it has an awful scent to it, and it takes forever to grow. I just can't remember what it was. I don't know. I like I like orchids and lilies and tulips.
Yeah.
Those are flowers I like.
Flowers are beautiful. I love lavender. That's like
I love lavender too. I got lavender incense.
yeah, those are the best. I noticed.
What's that one plant that has the white little bristles on it? It smells really good. Is that rosemary? I can't remember the name of it. I remember growing up with it. My mom would plant it so much, and I would love it. Also, I can't remember this other plant, but it smells like menthol, and I really like it too. It doesn't grow flowers.
I feel like I know what you're talking about. I feel like I know what you're talking about, but I don't know.
Oh yeah. By the way, you can have 2 paintings too,
Okay, cool.
so you could pick out whatever 2 you want.
Yeah, that's cool. Appreciate it.
I like to give away my art as much as I like to sell it too. Just as long as it's taken care of, I'm sure that you'd probably take care of it.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
I'm just happy that I'm 23 and I've painted more paintings than Jackson Pollock did in his whole lifetime.
How many paintings he do?
I remember it was like 400 or 300 something. Here, let me look it up so I can be exact. $363.
Wow.
I've painted almost 3 years. 437.
Damn.
And I've sold 67, and then the rest that I had, I gave away for free to people.
Michael Hafka has 3 of my paintings.
Who's that?
He's a neo-expressionist painter who's in the San Francisco Museum of Modern Art and Modern Museum of Modern Art. He's a really cool guy. I really like him.
Is it there? The paintings?
Yeah, it's at his place.
Oh, it's at his place. Okay, I thought it was at the museum. I'd be like,
No, oh fuck. If it was at the museum, I wouldn't be here. It just feels good that, like, an artist that I look up to and admire actually has my artwork, and, like, I'm friends with him. Like, I wish that there was more people in Illinois that were creative or artistic or liked things rather than corn and and dumb shit.
I feel you. It's all you perceive. It's like going with your, not a group, but going with where you go with, in a sense.
Yeah.
Going what you see in yourself, and then you pull to you exactly what you gotta pull to you.
Yeah, no, like, I have met a lot of people here that have helped with many things, such as creation through, like, the social encounters I've had, and development, because I believe individuality, you know, to create that development, you need a form of disintegration, and I'm a creative individual, and, like, you know, like, I'll do, like, one night, like, I'll do, like, 4 drum tracks, get the guitar, get the bass done, and do the vocals and get the song done and written in, like, one night. And sometimes I'll get 4 songs done in, like, a matter of, like, 8-10 hours within just writing and just recording. It'll just come out like that for me. Some days it'll take, like, a week. Like, I had one song, De Vert Grad, which means the 4th degree. I have this song called Pig Eats Pig, and it took me a year to even make it. and I use sound effects of like running a dog through an amp, and I sampled the one noise from the trailer of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, that noise,
Yeah.
the kind of shutting camera sound. I sampled that, and the children laughing, and just a lot of samples. And some songs I'll sample, like I have this song called Fracturing, and it's kind of like an industrial electronic EDM kind of style song, sort of, but not really. And it's basic 4x4 beat. And then I sampled Broken Glass in the background and other like glass breaking. And the whole song's about how people like deflect and project their image on other people, and they become walking mirrors. And that they're
Forcefully.
fracturing themselves. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're a walking mirror, look at that deflection,
Yeah. Makes sense.
It's about being like creative. I mean, we could look at like JPEG Mafia, about how the fact that he sampled like an ASMR video and like him snapping a pen really quickly and made a beat out of it. It's making use of your environment, because I'm a poor artist, so I have to DIY it a lot. Like, I remember I had no canvas, but I had stretchers, and I had to lay grass seed at my insurance job, and I kept the grass seed bags that were linen, and I stretched them and painted over them raw with no gesso or any primer. And to be honest, I actually prefer my paintings primed. I sometimes really hate that I have to buy really cheap already primed canvas that is horrible quality, and it doesn't suck up the oil paint, and I have to paint and paint and paint and paint over it just to get it right.
I feel you. I gotta put more work into it in a sense.
Yeah, so that's why I've kind of learned that, like, with some of these, like that sucker right there, that was a screen printed painting that I painted over. I'll buy like home decor or already painted paintings sometimes that I find at Goodwill and just paint over them.
Cool. That's what's up.
Like this. That's just a shadow box. Painted over the canvas in the shadow box. I poured house paint, went over some parts with, I'm talking about like actual house paint, like what you paint houses with. Like shit with toxic chemicals. I'm painting down here with this shit, and I don't even have any ventilation, and I don't even give a fuck. I'll be painting with house paint, and then I'll go over it a little bit with oil, and then I took some linseed oil and splashed some red, made some blood splats.
You be painting with house paint with some of these?
Yeah, that one's house paint. That one's house paint right here. That's house paint. That's house paint. Yeah.
Hey, if you don't mind, what's up with those?
A prayer, that's Basquiat. I took one of an art boy sin as if no art lick fat boys. Those were two things that I really liked from Basquiat, and looking at photos of like Jean-Michel Basquiat.
Who's
Yeah,
that?
you know Basquiat?
Painter?
Yeah, he's a really popular, really popular neo-expressionist black painter. I don't know, like Andy Warhol put him on. He's the one who got me into painting. I was dating this girl named Jasmine Vargas until she got really fucking crazy, but I was really depressed, and music wasn't helping me, and writing poetry wasn't helping me, because I started actually writing poetry books because my grandfather always wanted me to write books. And as a punishment growing up, my mom would have me write short stories, and they would be like 15, 16, 17, 18 pages long. And that was always my punishment with my mother, other than getting beaten with a spiked belt, but that doesn't really matter. It'd go spiked belt than writing poetry or stories, and I grew up doing that, and poetry and stuff like that wasn't helping me because I was having all of this symbolism flood me, and just realizing that, it's end times leading on to the golden age to come. I was falling to depression and social isolation and feeling even more alienated, and just the factor of being, I feel like, almost like a form of martyr. I'd help my friends and try to save my friends, and from doing that and pointing out actions that are putting them in horrible positions, they would backstab me, and then they would get fucked over, and then come to me and tell me you were right this whole time. And just dealing with it, just everyday dramas, growing up, you know and just becoming a young adult. And she went, "Why don't you paint?" I'm like, okay. So I started with acrylic, and I did some acrylic paintings that were mainly more Basquiat based, and I became really obsessed about it. And then I did this one painting where I attached a lot of found objects to it. I later destroyed it, but didn't realize that I was really channeling Rauschenberg without channeling Rauschenberg, because Basquiat really liked Rauschenberg. Well, later I found Francis Bacon, and then I started finding all these other painters, and through Francis Bacon loving Pablo Picasso so much, I went to Pablo Picasso and got a little stitch with Picasso, and just slowly going through Munch, Van Gogh, Guston, Toombley. There's so many. Mark Rothko, Cecily Brown, George Condo, lots and lots and lots of painters. Frank Arbach, Lucian Freud, Michael Bormans, Luke Toymans, Gerhard Richter. The list continues. Egon Schiele, Klimt, and I just jumped and jumped and jumped and jumped and jumped and jumped, and have just been painting and painting. And when I was dating her, I got, it's 3 months into painting, I sold a painting for 20 grand to Stockholm, and I don't know how the fuck I did that. And I made an album called Stockholm Child. Maybe that's just synchronicity, I'm not sure. And then I became acquainted with Hafka, and then Hafka got one of my paintings, and then I slowly started getting depressed and really lacking in self-confidence, so I stopped promoting. And I stopped promoting for about 2 years because I didn't have a good camera, and I just was like, let's just have fun. And fuck, like I said, I made more paintings than Pollock has in 2.5, almost 3 year span, and there's really no stopping that.
Yeah, you probably gonna make way more than that.
I'm probably, by the time, say if I live a long life, by the time I'm in my 60s, I'd probably be in 8,000, 9,000, 10,000 probably, because at the rate of how I paint, I'm gonna have too much content.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's why I just kind of just give this shit away sometimes too, because I'm like, what am I supposed to do with it? I've just been giving it a slight break lately, picking it up again, just giving it a slight break, because I've been slow about it this year. I've been trying to paint photographs, cool edited photographs of things, or just things that I like that are photographs and surrealist, and then I'll do abstract art when I don't want to be technical or try to be technical. And then sometimes I'll make mock or funny paintings just because I want to, the Glory Hole series. Because for a while I was painting photographic images. In my room, I have most of my photographic images in there, my bedroom. And I have this photo of a blurred candle. And then I have a photograph of that I took of this one girl that I was seeing when I was in Spain, and her curtains are blowing through her window, and it has like this really hazy kind of old-timey kind of photograph, like kind of like 70s 80s kind of like photograph, and you can see the trim from the image, the black and red trim of the development of the image, and then the blurredness of her breast and her arm coming out, and all the white sheets blowing with this looming green kind of tint that I got because of the light and because of the film being old and kind of degenerating. So I painted that, and it looked really good. And I took some other photographs that I would just find online and just paint them. You know?
Yeah, I feel you put your twist to it.
Yeah. Because I've noticed, like, I sometimes can't always paint what I see, and when I try to paint what I see, I can kind of get it, but it has a motive of its own.
I feel you. Like, yeah, I understand exactly what you mean. So is it better when you pull it from within or when you see it?
I like both.
Both.
I like both. Because it's fun, because you get to utilize whatever you want. Like, sometimes, like, you know, I'll show you later and, like, explain to you later. But, like, well, there's one right there. Like, there's this one minimalist painting that I saw online that this Japanese guy did. I can't remember his name. Loved it. I love the factor that, like, you could see the linen in his painting. And it had this earthy kind of, like, transcending kind of feel to it. And then he had, like, a thin little rope in the middle. I love that. So I looked at it and I'm like, well, let's see what we can do and make something of that our own. So I did these kind of biomorphic auras that you can see the yellowish white branching out to the gray into the black abyss. And it really looks like resonating energy. And then a year down the road, I did a similar painting on linen because this kid named Duncan came over, and he painted these flowers. And then, you know, I would have people come over and paint and use my canvas and stuff. Well, him and me stopped being friends, and I figured there's no point in me keeping his painting because, like, I don't really, it's just flowers and it's alright, and I wanted him to take it, but he left it here. So I painted over it with stand oil, a brown, and then I glazed it after it dried with ivory black and then titanium white. It's very similar to that, but completely different. And like the interjecting of like the biomorphic shapes and the energy that's transmitted through it is really intense.
Sounds like it. Sounds like it, man.
And I really enjoyed making that painting. I really enjoy a lot of the simplistic ones that I do make when I do make them. You know?
Yeah. Does it usually take you, like, when you focus on a painting, you pretty much get it out the way?
It depends. Like, there's some that, like, the one that you like a lot over there that you say that's, like, gallery worthy, that took me a year. It did not look like that when I finished it in the beginning, and then I didn't like it, went back over it, destroyed it, and then it turned into that, and that took me like a month just to completely get that.
Yeah, I got some type of symbol. It's like, what the fudge?
Yeah. Oh, this sucker right above your head, the black one,
Ooh,
that took me like 4 hours.
that's pretty cool. What does that represent?
Aleph,
What's that?
nothing. It's 0. And the white one is its sister.
So Alice is this individual.
Aleph is the fool.
He's a fool?
He's the full tarot card. Aleph is 0.
Oh. The beginning.
Yeah.
Kind of
Because
like.
it goes ether, and then I can't remember what the little sphere is for Aleph.
So we
or
have
the
this
fool.
realm or something, like, in a sense.
Yeah. It's like how Banah is the magician.
Light.
The realm of mirrors and
Yeah.
understanding.
Like an illusion in a sense.
Yeah, and then there's Doth, and
But-
Doth is the abyss, which is death.
But that realm is all black.
No, it's not.
Feeling, in a sense.
It's black and white.
I'm talking about that one.
Yeah, no, that's Aleph and that's Aleph, the
But-
one right next to it.
But this one's black. Feeling.
Yeah. Just because it's black doesn't mean darkness.
I know that, but that's when it's like all you do is feel, in a sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what I'm feeling.
Well, do you see the tree sap in there too?
Yeah. I'm telling you, that's something right there, bro. That's something. That's an interesting one. It reminds me of the Tao. Darkness. Before this, it was that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like the internal is dark, black, nothing but beginning. Then we create this from that. So that's where you start off, in a sense, you know? That's
Yeah.
what I feel like that what it is. And then that's like where it makes a light. You know what I'm saying? It's like the Tao. I look at the Tao.
And then we got Ishtar up above.
What is he?
Ishtar is Venus. It's the Babylonian goddess
It's
for
a
Venus.
Spider. I
Oh.
wonder did these guys pop up on Earth? They can't show their presence too long, huh?
They can if you invoke them. It's just more in the sense of like, Ishtar is just a fragmentation of Venus, and Venus is just a fragmentation of that goddess, and it goes down all the way to Babylon.
Right.
They're all separate deities, but they all represent each other. It's like how Baphomet is Muhammad, which is Muhammad. Baphomet is Muhammad, the prophet. People just don't pay attention to that. It's like Allah. Allah is arm, leg, arm, head. The Merkaba. You remember the little transcription of Da Vinci where the man spread out? That's the Merkaba. The combination of both male and female. Star of David. Combination of both male and female energy.
Don't that pretty much get you stuck? Not stuck, but it seems like you get, I don't know how that sounds like. It seems like taking yourself back.
That's the thing. You want the combination of both, but if you don't use it right, you get yourself stuck.
Yeah.
You want to transcend through that.
Yeah.
That's where you go through Banah. You know, like how I told you about the water earlier and explaining the Tempter's card somewhat. You want the soul to flow like water. The soul, when it comes to the physical plane, becomes water. Look at how we're born in water. And then we come out of water. We live in water for 9 months growing. It's no different than Mother Ovum. Not to be like all Nazarene Bible and this and that, but I'm just referencing that just to reference the Nazarene Bible.
Yeah, I feel you. Makes sense. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Makes sense. But like, so you saying like the more water you take, the more spiritual you get in a sense, or you talking about like? I know you're talking about pulling your spirit, pulling your higher self in your body.
Return to the soil. Return what you take to the soil. Give with the water of your essence.
Yeah.
Through that water of your essence, you can turn that water into wine. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm. Kind of like alchemy.
Yeah, no, everything's alchemy, dude.
Yeah. Straight up. Creating stuff from another element. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, everything is. That's why it's like you are what you eat in a sense, literally.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Like it's all alchemy. They can create shit.
Yeah, you wanna
wrap this up, my bro?
Yeah. Hey though, but this is E.G. Fisker podcast. This is the first. I think this is one of the first ones. You know, I know they have Garrett Burnside on here. You know, this was an hour 45 minutes.
Yeah, long as fuck.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
hope you enjoy it.
Yeah, man. But you guys have a good one, man. Peace. You guys gonna see it. You guys gonna see it.